Hours and Hours by Muni Long has been blazing the charts as of late. The song overall I feel is a really big moment for R&B on the charts right now, and also a big moment for runs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my wife's iPad this time around, and we're going to be breaking down the runs off of Hours and Hours. So let's get into Muni Long's voice, shall we? Hello everybody, O'Neal Gerald here, back for another video. Hours and Hours has been kind of creeping around on Instagram. It seems like the song is really here to stay. It was wonderfully written and wonderfully sung. The singer behind Hours and Hours is under the pseudonym Muni Long, but she's been working in the business for a really long time as Priscilla Renee. Muni Long has written for the likes of Chris Brown, Kelly Clarkson, Kelly Rowland, and even Rihanna. She's really a big writer, and so I'm gonna celebrate this song by getting into some of the runs. So I'm gonna take my wife's iPad and we're gonna do this thing. So the first riff that actually really stood out to me was within the first line of the song. Mine, yours, mine. When I heard that, I was like, whoa, right out the gate? Muni, are you kidding me? So this riff is pretty simple. It starts on C sharp here, and then we got a little wiggle. Mine, and that kind of gives us the mine, mine, and then she kind of hits two notes on the way down. So we got the C sharp here, mine, and then two notes on the bottom, the B and the G sharp. Yours, mine, yours, mine. Now, one thing that's super cool about what Muni's doing on this riff is that she already was choosing the most open part of the vowel in the I. So when we're talking about yours, mine, she didn't close the vowel until the very end of the run. Now, what she could have done was close it earlier, mine. Stylistically, that may have worked, but it tells me that in terms of her runs, Muni is looking for the most open opportunities for her voice to flourish. Because a good singer is going to find the most open parts of vowels, like in the my, the I, and then use it to their advantage to allow their voice to just be free. And this opening riff is a really good example of that. But this was only the basics of the basics of what Muni could do. As we continue on through the verse, we get another little idea where Muni's showing a little bit more of what she can do. Oh, when you do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot out this run actually right beside the first one that we talked about, because there's something similar about them. So we got the ooh, when you do ooh, ooh, ooh. For those of you that know me, I like to put more head voice, lighter side of the voice stuff in red. So what we'll do now is put the ooh, when you ooh. And then we get a little bit of a pause, and then she switches right to a more chesty part of her voice. Do. Now if you look at both the runs, and I'll actually put the other note here, you'll actually see that they end in the same way, on the C sharp, on the B, and on the G sharp. Now that's just kind of showing us a little bit of where she's thinking the home of the key is. Now the key of the song is G sharp minor, but its relative major is B major. And what Muni is doing throughout her runs in the song is she's going back and forth between the minor tonality of the G sharp minor, but as we get further in the song, we're gonna see how she actually thinks in the relative major, the B major. We're gonna see as the song develops how she flips between the major and minor tonalities that are related to the same key signature. Now, the run that really sold me was in the first take of the chorus. Muni plays with those same notes that we saw in the first two riffs, but she combines them to create this moment. Yeah. Now here's the thing, if we look at the shape of the other two runs, it will help us to understand what's actually going on, because there's a lot of repetition in this idea. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 notes for eyes. And then we get and hours. It's the same word, so she's doing the same run. And hours. right? It's the same thing that's happening. And then she continues with the idea and then tails it off in somewhere slightly different. And I'm gonna even guess that she's doing the same thing. Yeah. Right? And then this is where we get the rest of the idea. Okay, cool. And that ending note is actually the B. So like I told you, she was playing between the major and minor tonalities. So she does end on that B. To bring us home. Yeah. And then she ends it off. Yeah. Sing, Money. And that's the thing. As a singer, she's really emoting and showing us what she's actually feeling with her voice and with her choices. And a lot of you in your singing have actually felt locked, whether it be rhythmically or whether it just be in terms of your own mind. You want to get your ideas out there, but for some reason they're not getting out. Whether it's improvisation or just the overall tone of your voice that you hear in your head. There's something that's happening to the messages your brain is sending to your voice. Something is getting lost. And it's my joy to help singers feel free in their expression. So I've created a free resource where you're going to be able to start that journey. So I want you to go to reclaimyourvoice.ca/masterclass and watch my free training. This training is going to give you the building blocks to be able to start to hear yourself, express yourself with true freedom. Because singing that comes from a singer that isn't liberated can only go so far into the heart of your listener. You want to be able to impact somebody very deeply. So I want you to go to reclaimyourvoice.ca/masterclass and begin your journey to singing with freedom. Anywho, let's get back into a little bit more of what Muni Long is doing. In this next run that we find going into the chorus, we hear Money come out of the rhythmic meter, give that commentary, but then come right back and lock into the rhythmic meter with something that I feel is slightly churchy, if you ask me.
Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
Absolutely. So first of all, melodically, we're getting some builds that Money is doing towards this F sharp that's up about here. Let's see what note she's using to climb this. Hours and 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 hours. And then this is where we get the downward run. And then she puts something a little bit more light on the end. And then we got a little weight here. And then she comes right all the way from the bottom. Right. So what's really important to see is that this run right here, and this idea that we get here is almost like a form of tension and release, where we get this idea that is rhythmically removed from the meter, but then we get this idea and ours that brings us back. And actually, this idea on this side is a little bit more truth to the meter as well. She goes from being rhythmically attached,
Hours and hours.
but then she goes rhythmically detached for this run. And then very suddenly after this weight, we got her and out. For me, the tension between being rhythmically attached and detached is essential for a singer to be able to communicate that they're doing something more than just music. And Money's doing a really great job of conveying what she's really talking about in terms of being in love. She had this one thing that she did. Whoa, whoa. What did she do? So starting on that B, again, she's been playing between the major and the minor. She's now taking from the major right now. In fact, that's what I think she's doing. I'm just gonna put what I think she's doing, and then I'm just gonna make sure. This is a nice idea here. Now let's actually see if that's what she did. Yeah, that's essentially what she did. She's just playing with the major scale. If you learn the major scale, you have so many opportunities to create melodies. All you're doing is just going up and down it. That's all she's really doing. Wow, wow, do ti la so fa mi re do. Do ti la so. La so mi re. Mi so la so. If you increase your knowledge of the major scale, you have so much. And as a songwriter, she's got it. Money! You're singing. And I love it. You can hear her brilliance through all of the runs that she creates. And she could just continue to create for hours and hours and hours. I just had to. The pun was calling menu. Anyway, I had a wonderful time breaking down some Muni Long, but I don't want that to be the end of the conversation. Drop me a comment down below. And if you're new, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel because this is the place where we reclaim your voice. Reclaiming my voice. I'm Muni Long, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.